Now, is our broken asylum system putting British lives at risk?
The Moroccan-born killer, Ahmed Alid, was allowed to stay in the UK after being arrested and having his application rejected in Italy and Germany. He travelled around 13 different European countries before ending up here. Now, yesterday, he was found guilty of murdering 70-year-old Terence Carney after being inspired, apparently, to take revenge for the Israel-Hamas conflict. How on earth was he in this country and allowed to stay here?
Well, joining us now is immigration lawyer Ivon Sampson. Ivon, thank you for joining us. This is just the most extraordinary case, but I suppose it speaks to, more than anything else, just how slow our system is here in the UK.
Yes, absolutely. So there's serious questions raised by the delay in deciding Alid's asylum application. That's the first thing. And secondly, you might want to know what's going to happen to Alid. How will the public be protected when he's released? I think that's an important issue, because this individual should not be in this country. He should be deported and removed to protect the public. He's a dangerous person, and the public needs to be protected and be assured.
But Ivon, we do see, I take your point completely about the slow processes of the Home Office, but time and time again, we see foreign criminals being allowed to stay in this country because of their human rights. What rights will this man have if he does serve a sentence in this country, finishes it? Then what? What rights will he have? Will he be able to make a claim that he should be able to stay in this country?
No, he can't. And the law was changed back in April last year. And essentially, there's two exceptions to the rule that he'll be automatically deported. One is that he has strong links to the UK. You have to have a lawful residence and be resident here for most of your life, first of all. And there'll be very difficult for him to reintegrate back in his home country. So those are the two. The other exception is if he's in a relationship with someone settled here, who has a child here, and it will be unduly harsh for them to relocate back to the
Ivon, why would...
I haven't finished.
Go on, finish.
It doesn't apply to him.
Yeah.
None of that will apply to him because he's been sentenced to more than 4 years. So those exceptions will not apply to him. He will be deported. And quite rightly, the Secretary of State will make that deportation order.
I wonder, this question of not being able to reintegrate in your own country, that's curious. Why should the British public or the British Home Office care about that necessarily? Well,
I'll tell you why. Look, I did a case where someone had been living here for 40 years, had never, he'd come in as a baby, had indefinite leave to remain, but never got a British passport. So he'd committed an offence, did his time, was rehabilitated, came back out again, got British wife and children. See, Article 8 is decided on its individual facts. But what the law says, the more serious the crime, that's more than 4 years, the balance shifts in favour of the state to protect the public. So those really serious crimes, it's quite right that the public should be protected. But the less serious crimes, especially ones that not concern offences against persons, the violent crimes, it's a balancing exercise. So someone who's lived there, let's say 99% of their life in the UK and have a family here, is it right to deport them? I'm not sure about that.
But in this case, there should be no hiccups. It should go fairly smoothly, and he should be shown the door after his sentence. Well, let's hope that
he'll have the right to appeal, though, won't he, Ivon? He'll have a right to appeal.
As I said, he can challenge it. He has a right under Article 8, but it will fail because the exceptions don't apply to him.
Okay.
He's going to get sentenced for more than 4 years for murder. It's a statutory life imprisonment. So I'm afraid those exceptions will not apply. And that's quite right. And you see, over the last 10 years, the law's been in flux. Various case laws, and you've heard about people avoiding deportation for the most, strange reasons. But now the Home Office, in April last year, through a statement of change, have clarified all of that, simplified it. And so it's much easier for the courts to interpret what the law is.
That's very good news. Well, Ivon Sampson, thank you for joining us and talking through that case. Really, really interesting stuff. And interesting that it's now all been clarified.
Let's hope so.
If only that had happened, you know, quite a bit earlier than just last April.
I don't know, but how many deportation flights get stopped on the tarmac?